What job seems to attract a-holes? Loan sharking. It's a job that requires you to be an a-hole. I think that species is almost extinct because the banks figured out they don't really need to be ethical. Just give everybody money and set the interest to astronomical for the not so desirable customers. Those who can't pay are offset by all the others who pay way over their original amount. But since we are on the topic, I would suggest the legal form of loan shark as better answer. Payday loan sharks. Whoever is supposed to moderate the moderators on Reddit. I have the answer here: health insurance executives. My patients rely on me to make decisions, prescribe medication and perform procedures to the best of my abilities. Health insurance executives are only concerned with profiting off human misery as much as possible. They're constantly looking for new ways to deny coverage, raise premiums, lower reimbursements and lobbying the government to make access to affordable healthcare nearly impossible. I'm in private practice and have full-time employees to jump through their hoops, and even then some of them will want to speak with me directly, after leaving me on hold for 20 minutes, only to trip over their own words as to why my diagnosis/treatment plan isn't necessary given some rubric they came up with. The patient thinks the doctor is ripping them off. The doctor won't take certain cases depending on what insurance the patient has, while the insurance companies continue to merge into larger monopsonies who help other CEOs maintain a captive workforce due to the insane cost of healthcare in America, which would otherwise financially cry people 90% of the population. It really sucks. Just reading this makes me mad. General attorney here. The answer is general attorney. Spaceball 1 bridge crew. Boat salesman. So my brother is pretty well Toto because of some good decisions he made early on, and Hess decided to start spending some of his money, I guess, so he decided he would get a nice, pretty big sailboat that he could snowbird on with his family. I went with him to a boat show in Florida, and afterwards he looked at me and said, "Did you notice how all the workers and staff seemed genuinely surprised when we would chat with them or talk to them like equals? Did you also notice how every single other person attending seemed like massive? These boats are really cool and all, but I really don't want to be like these people." Morning radio show host. Can't agree more. Every single one seems to have this massive ego and self-importance, and I can't work out why. Don't they know that video killed them in 1979? You will never meet a person you'll hate more than a club promoter. It's everything left over from the dregs of douchebag guys that think they are the coolest and spend their 40s buying drinks for their 20-something friends. Lawyer here. The solution is an attorney. President of ANHOA. Attorney here. The answer is attorney. It's pretty funny that every attorney I know openly admits they sold their soul to the devil to become an attorney. They're very self-aware of how others perceive them. That said, people hate lawyers until they actually need one. A few years back we had a property dispute and hired a lawyer. She got done fast and resolved our problem, so we came out on top. Won the case. Military. I am a retired AF vet. 26 years, and I saw plenty of management positions in department stores. Give a weak human a minuscule amount of authority and they act like a wannabe dictator and power figure. Sales reps in pharmaceuticals, you guys. A proctologist. A million to one shot doc. TSA. Pretty much anything that gives you power over people. Cops, corrections officers, etc. I work in corrections and most of my coworkers are complete. But to be fair, it's a hard job to do if you aren't in Reddit mods. They said job. Positions of authority. Anyone who wants to be in control shouldn't be in control. Influencers. Whatever that title means. They influence me to not watch their content. Real estate agents. I'm gonna go with salespeople, the frickin' egos. Investment banking. Moderators of old internet forums that are somehow still a thing in 2022. PE teachers, a PE teacher. Photographers. I live in a place where there are a good chunk of pro photographers reside, who do this as their only job, and who, boy, I have never seen a crowd of people more snooty and elitist than them. Joined up with a local photog group for hobbyists, and they ended up finding it, joining it, and beginning to judge people for using entry-level DSLRs or phone cameras, calling it not real photography. Or posting memes like good photography isn't cheap, and cheap photography isn't good. Again, tossing more shade at people who don't have the money to afford equipment that costs a few grand. Really killed my passion in that field because they always made me feel not good enough. Even when I was able to finally afford a good camera, I never used it just because I was so over it at that point. Hey, thanks for subscribing and liking. It really means a lot to me. While you are here, feel free to hop on over to the last video. See you there. Ronnie.